last episode we talked about the night I called you when all of your brother's daughters' toys turned on. Remember the freaking Dora the Explorer one?
Yeah.
But and how the next day we went to the church we were members of, and they basically didn't.
Is there really a membership though? It was just like you're the two people that come. You're a member.
I still had to go through the 6-month membership process.
What was it?
Go to church once a month.
Weed their backyard.
Yeah. But no, we had our one friend who they never let be a member of.
Oh.
But you know how we went there like 4 a.m.
That's where.
And they didn't do anything. They're basically like, well, you weren't even in. They didn't let you in.
Yeah, I was.
What the heck were you?
Well, it was one of the women of the family was like, let's go to McDonald's. We'll buy
a kid's meal.
I want to say it was breakfast. We went and bought like pancakes and stuff from McDonald's during night. I don't even think that's possible. I don't remember. All I remember is like I was like trying to get in because I was like, oh shit. Because you had like cabinets moving at your house. Like I was on the phone with you and like things were going off. Like, and we'd already seen shadows and stuff at your house. So I'm like, I want to be
the dishes. The dishes in my cabinets are moving and stuff.
Yeah, like it was like somebody was getting plates, but like the cabinet door would be closed. I've been over there whenever that was happening, but they were basically like, "No, we got to talk to Luke to see if he's serious about his walk, with our Lord."
Just readjusting.
Comfy.
Yeah. So what the hell did you all talk about then?
Nothing. We went for a drive. We hopped in the Lincoln and went for a drive.
You talk about the regional sports teams.
I don't remember. All I remember is like I was trying to text you, I think. So like you're in there being talking, I'm like,
dude, no lie.
And then they made us sit outside.
Dude, no lie. It was years ago, so I don't remember everything. But what I do remember was the pastor, preacher, what have you. He was basically like making it like it was my fault. He's like, ever since you walked in here, I knew there was a demon following you. And I was like, well,
help.
I was like, well, I've been experiencing some like weird paranormal stuff. And he's like, tell me what you're doing in your personal life. I'm like, nothing. Like, I'm like sitting here tattooing the occult symbol on my freaking chest now. I'm like, nothing. Like, I just do whatever. He's like, well, if you're not going to be honest with me, then there's nothing I can do for you. So, like, I told him, like, crap that I don't really want to admit on a podcast. But, so he starts, like, talking to me about all that stuff. And then, I remember. A shadow, like a legit shadow, like catches the corner of my eye, and so like naturally I'm like,
and I was in the room then, and he was like,
"Oh, I
saw something, didn't you?"
This is what he did. Like, all right, he's sitting there like just watching me, and like I just go, like just casually, because like something catches your eye, you're gonna look, and he goes.
Yeah.
Did you see something?
He does this eyebrow raise thing?
Yeah. He's like, tell me what it is that you saw.
Show me where it is.
And like, I point, I'm like, it was over there. And he like gets up and he's like,
He gets up, goes to the corner.
yeah, like, it looks like he's freaking King Kong throwing barrels down and trying to kill Mario. Oh,
but his back was turned to us. All you saw was this guy looking in the corner, like.
oh man, so stupid. Oh my god.
We 100% believed him too. We were both depressed at the time.
Yeah. I was more depressed. I'm just kidding.
You win.
No,
You were
but-
so depressed they wouldn't let you in the church.
They are unconsciously sinning and inviting demons.
dude, but
That's what they acted like. And like the crazy thing was like, as like Luke's stopped coming, they would make phone calls to me because like we still talked and stuff. And they'd be like, "So how's Luke doing?" And like I'll be like, "Oh, he's doing good. He's sad, and this and that. That's this is the path he's
Get to
chosen."
church.
I'm gonna let you in, Josh. He's inviting demons, and you should probably stop hanging out with them. I was like, I guess that's not gonna happen. But like they did, they made it sound like it was totally his fault, and that like I should distance myself.
Yeah, so they're like telling us like not to be friends because I'm not going to church.
I mean, and this is probably gonna be all over the place because there's
Yeah.
like remember like it was Halloween and I was working, and they were like,
Devil dog.
I was working and they said, and at the time I worked till like midnight, and they said like, you need to get home. You need to not be out.
Yeah.
They're killing black cats.
The veil is thinnest.
The veil is
on
thinnest on
brother.
Halloween, and like
Don't go into the woods.
like I said, like at that time, like
Really?
we were like so like new and trying to believe. because
I've always been into like demons and like paranormal crap. So I'm eating this shit up.
Yeah, he's inviting them in. Like they're right.
I mean, like I've always like thought it was cool. Like fucking demons.
Knowing stuff, yeah.
See, I always thought it was cool too, but I always thought the other side of it was cool.
Yeah, the spiritual warfare and stuff.
Yeah, like I never thought like, oh, it's cool to be
Possessed.
yeah, like that's not cool to me.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude! I don't
Let me
even
do it, basketball.
look at me. I'm naked dancing in the
No, I've never been that far, but I just thought it was cool.
cemetery,
to learn about all
brother.
this
But yeah,
stuff. So like, I'm eating this shit up that they're telling me. Like
I came straight to your house, and I stayed the night, and I didn't go to
Halloween
work.
night.
I didn't go to work the next day.
yeah, you helped me.
Because we stayed up all night, like, freaked out, like, oh my god, they know we're Christians! Oh my god, they're coming for us. Because that's how they acted. They said, like, they know, like, I guess, witches? I don't know if it was witches. Anyways, whatever. The dark side knew that you're a Christian. They could just look at you, know. And they're gonna...
Yeah, and
they're gonna sacrifice you.
They also
if
said
get
that
chance.
the reason that Halloween night is like the thinnest the veil is because like they can dress up and blend in with crowds.
The children. Well, it was so they could blend in, but not only them. It was also so like demons could actually come out in their full.
And you wouldn't
know because you would think it's a mask.
Which is kind of ironic because the whole tradition of wearing a mask on Halloween was to ward off demons.
Yeah.
So we're just eating this crap up like it's freaking.
And like, have you seen like
There is.
old century like Halloween masks?
Yeah.
Those-
I
that
have.
stuff was more terrifying than what like the normal
Than seeing an
stuff.
actual demon.
Yeah. Because like we got like Ghostface and someone's dressed up as Chucky and stuff, and like, all right, but like back then it was like they didn't really have movies and stuff made on stuff. It was just like weird, abstract, nasty ass.
It looked like
Abstract.
real leather face masks.
Yeah.
And like you're wearing like fucking
And, like, the children-
cornstarch fucking potato sacks and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like a murderer that's ready to just kill people.
Dude, but they
Trick or treat!
Yeah, dude, and it was so stupid. And they're like, don't go in the woods. Do not
So I was like, I'm not going home because I lived in the woods.
Yeah. So he's like spending the night at my house, and like that night, like we saw like shadows and stuff. So
Yeah.
so we're like, well, we're fucking dead.
We're not going
Like,
to bed.
We're
I'm
going
not
to
going to
hell.
sleep. We're going to sit in the living room with one light on. And then, and then at 5 a.m., 7, 8, 6 a.m., your dad appears and is like,
The fuck you boys doing? I'm scared me.
his face he makes.
Scared me.
And he doesn't say anything. He just then goes to work. Like he's like pissed that we're like alive. But anyway, so I was messaging him about, dude, like I think I just like became a Christian.
I was like, you drunk, dog?
And like I no lie, I worked like the next day, and I'm sitting at work, and he pulls up in Pontiac. What was
Pontiac Aztec.
Aztec.
Shitty ass fucking camping vehicle.
comes riding up, and I hadn't seen you since like you went to move down there to go to high school. Like it'd been that long,
Yeah, it's been a while.
years. You came over to my parents' house, and we hung out and we talked about it, and then like the next day we went to go meet them.
Yeah.
I don't really remember that though. Like
Oh God, I do.
it probably meant more to you at that time because it was like
So he takes me over there, and you know, hey, I'm such and such, whatever. Nice to meet you. So we started talking about like God and religion and stuff, and like my personal beliefs, like if I went to church, all that crap. And like I told him, like, yeah, I believe in God, but you know, I don't really go to church or anything. Like, it's not that big of a deal to me. And they're like, oh, okay, we understand, you know, blah blah blah. So like we're sitting there for hours, like literal like hours. Like we get there, he took me over there like noon. We didn't get.
But
home.
we do that. We did that all the time.
Yeah.
With them, like we would, dude. Remember the night? I think you were there. We left their house, and it was like 3 a.m, and cops pulled us over.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Where you boys coming from?" Because they were searching for somebody. Because they were pulling everybody over, and we were like, "Our pastor's house," and they were like, "You must have been real troubled sinners."
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Just this old cop. It's like, you boys must have done something bad.
But it wasn't. It was a.
Step outside,
That was the
please.
beginning of it, though. That was the beginning of it.
But that day, like we were there. Swear, we got there at noon and didn't leave till like 3 a.m, 4 a.m. But they're talking. They're like saying all this crap, and they're like pulling like Bible verses and stuff.
All this crap.
I don't mean like in a derogatory. I just mean like a lot of stuff.
And
But they're pulling up all this stuff, and like they're going over Bible verses, and like they're showing me like church history and stuff like that, and like they're showing me like Tacitus and like Flavius Josephus, like all these like historians that would talk about like Jesus and all this stuff. I'm like, man, this makes sense. I'm like, and then after several hours go by, they asked me like if I wanted to be saved, and I was like yeah, I would. Like I like to accept Jesus in my heart.
man,
And so like they saved me, and then
And it must not have took, because then you started bringing the devil in your
yeah,
house.
but dude, were you there when they did that that Lord's when on all four of them they like held hands and they circled around me and danced and said the Lord's Prayer?
Yeah, I was sitting in the chair.
They legit like after I got saved, they're like they all like grasp hands and they literally like ring around the rosy me, and they're also going like, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And they're like, tell us, like, do you hear anything? I'm like, no. And they're like, well, it must not be his time yet. I'm like,
Oh! Do I remember that?
I was like,
It must not be his time.
right then I'm like second guessing. Like,
What were you supposed to hear?
Some angel.
They never did any of that with me.
I think it wasn't Michael. It was I forget the name of it, but it was some angel, or like some just prominent figure, and I can't remember. But they're like, "Do you hear him talking to you?" I'm like, no. It's like, am I David Koresh?
I mean, this is what he did with me. Like whenever I accepted, so like I thought it was some kind of like corny, like Christian story, because it was like, here's my Bible, take it, Josh. And I was like, okay. He's like, close your eyes, open it up, and put your finger on a verse. I looked at it, and he's like, oh.
Do it again. Oh, it doesn't count.
But he's like, oh, that's about war. And he's like, does that mean anything to you? And I was like, no. Like, I thought I was like, oh, good try. Didn't work. And so then, like, because at the time, I was actually playing with, like, I had recently just was playing with Ouija boards and stuff like that.
We talked about that in our last episode.
And it was with, like, my ex-girlfriend and stuff. And, like, I remember, like, being at her house, and the board was in her closet, and the closet doors would shake and stuff. And, you know, one time I even used it, and our hands weren't even touching it, and it was, like, going around, like, saying stuff. And, like, it said to me, like, because of me, you believe in God. And I'm like,
who are you?
What? But, like, then, like, at night, she'd be sleeping. I'd be laying there, and the closet doors would, like, pulsate and shake and make that, like, rattling sound. It's the sliding doors. So
like they're in the track and they, like, bunch up.
So it's like, and I was like, that is bullshit. Like, I'd lay there, I'd be looking at the, like, do you all have this happen? Like, when you're at night and you close your eyes, but you can see shit moving around. Yeah. So, like, I'm laying there, and, like, I'm seeing stuff, like, moving around, and it's bugging me. And then I open up my eyes, and I still see it moving around. And I was like, oh, time to die. I didn't know anything. I grabbed the board, and I grabbed the thing, and, like, I
pissed on it.
I took it to our parents' house, and, like, nobody was home, because I got home at, like, 3 in the morning or whatever. And I threw it in a burn barrel and lit it on fire. Jesus. And apparently that's a no-no. Yeah.
That's the number
one. It wasn't in the instructions, damn it.
Don't light on fire.
That's the number one no-no from the man himself, Zozo.
Yeah. So, like, I was like, I won. But, like...
Checkmate, demons.
After that, I had my dream.
Was this the white man dream?
Yeah.
Dude, I had the same dream.
So, like... For me, I want to say at the time, like, Kmart around here was closing. And, like, you go in and, like, there wasn't, like, very much
stuff.
Might not have been Kmart or something. Some store was closing. And it might have been Lowe's whenever they were switching buildings. But anyways, so, like, you go in and there's not very much stuff. Were you cold?
For the viewers, he's closing the sliding glass door.
You're cold too.
We're it's a little chilly.
We're burning out. But anyways, it's like you're going down. You got all these aisles of nothing, and I was like in the middle of an aisle, and
talk about an inconvenience store.
And everything's so bright. And I look up, there's no color or anything. The floors are, basically white. I look up and I start to see these feet coming down through, like melting through the ceiling.
And everything he's wearing is white.
Yeah, black shoes.
Black shoes. Oh.
No, mine was white shoes.
Yeah, mine was white everything.
But he had like white shoes. He's in a white suit. Wasn't the undershirt was black, and it was a white tie.
Mine was all white.
All white.
All white.
Mine had black undershirt. But this guy, and as he's coming down, like all the aisles are dropping down. So it's just like
going through the floor.
Like going through the floor, and there's nothing but this flat surface. And I see this dude coming down. And he's black hair, black mustache, and like he doesn't even like look at me or anything. And I'm like watching him, and he starts going through the floor, and like right at the point like there's only like this much of his head left. He looks at me, like he turns and he looks, and like boom, this bright ass light hits me, and I can't see. I can't see, and so but I jolt awake. When I wake up, that same light is still in my eyes. And I couldn't see. It was in my room, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then I met the pastor at where I worked, and I talked to him about stuff. And I was like, "Man, you're a Christian, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to be a pastor." And I'm like, "Dude, let me tell you about this. I was playing with a Ouija board and everything." And I told him like the whole story, and he's like,
"You're an idiot."
Well, basically, he was like, "I could tell kind of like the same thing. I could tell a demon is following you."
Yeah.
But instead of like kicking you out, they were like, he was like, "Let me embrace you."
There's a demon scratching me right now.
So then I had that little thing with the Bible.
Yeah.
And I was like, "This is stupid."
What did he ever say about the dream?
That was later.
Oh.
Yeah, he did talk about it later. I'll get to that. But like, I accepted Christ because at the time, two of my friends were in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And it was a war verse. And I no lie to you, I heard plain as day something say to me, "Josh, if they are brave enough to go to war and die for the country, why can't you be brave enough to believe in me and and do the purpose I created you for?" I heard that, and like the dude was talking, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa!"
This isn't my Batman glass.
Yeah. And then I went to his house there after that, and that's like how it started. It was like the next day I was talking to him, and the next day he shows up. But it was like that. Now the dream, because we had the same dream. They were like, they were like, they didn't tell me who it was, but they're like, "Oh, we know who that was that was in your dream. I could show you a picture of him right now. We have books in this house that has different demons and stuff like that. And we could show you who it was, and you will freak out." And they're like, "Do you want to see it?" I was like, "No."
They never asked me.
I said no because I was like, because I don't know. It felt like it was a test. Like, is he interested to see the dark side?
Yeah, sure.
So I was like, no.
I probably would have failed the test, and I was like, I want to know what the hell this was in my dream.
Let us anoint you. But there was more, like, were you there whenever they were talking about, like, how, you probably weren't. This is how I feel like they wrapped you in, though. Like, there was one time I was sitting with them after church, and they were talking about purposes in life.
Yeah.
And they said, "Josh, you're the firstborn of your family. You're very special in your family." I was like,
Isn't that usually a thing in like religions? Like the firstborn is always really
yeah,
special?
usually the firstborn normally gets everything.
Yeah.
And basically the youngers are
Except
they're gonna live in my house, my parents' old house, but they're gonna do all the work.
Except the plague.
Yeah.
Kills your firstborn son.
Kills the firstborn son.
Yeah.
But that's why, because they're the most important.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the bloodline. It's whatever. And I don't know. They said that I was important for some reason. I was like spared, which kind of clicked because my mom, she had like several failed pregnancies, and when I was in the womb,
And the one that works is you. I'm just kidding.
yeah, this is the first one that comes out.
I'm just kidding, man.
But like, she actually had an angel visit her and told her that I would be born.